In the intricate dance of relationships, understanding the underlying psychological mechanisms can unlock a deeper appreciation and connection. Often, we find ourselves longing for validation, yet it remains just out of reach. This exploration delves into the profound insights of Carl Jung, revealing how self-awareness and comprehension of our own emotional landscapes can shift dynamics in our interactions. By grasping these concepts, we not only elevate our self-worth but also influence how others perceive and value us. Join us as we unravel these essential truths, guiding you toward a more empowered and fulfilling relational experience. If you stay until the end, the ENG will shock you and transform your life. In the intricate dance of human relationships, one of the most profound realizations is that he will only value you when you understand this psychological mechanism. This insight, rooted in the psychological theories of Carl Jung, speaks to the complex interplay between self-awareness and external validation. The first attitude that often emerges in this context is the tendency to seek approval and worth from others, a behavior that can be deeply ingrained and often unconscious. Jung posited that the journey towards individuation, the process of becoming the person you are meant to be, requires a deep understanding of oneself. When individuals fail to recognize their intrinsic value, they may find themselves in a cycle of seeking validation from external sources, often leading to emotional turmoil. This behavior is particularly evident in romantic relationships, where one partner may feel compelled to constantly prove their worth to the other. The emotional toll of such dynamics can be staggering. Feelings of inadequacy, anxiety, and a diminished sense of self can ensue. In many cases, this pattern manifests when one partner is emotionally unavailable or exhibits narcissistic tendencies. The individual who seeks validation may find themselves in a perpetual state of longing, believing that their worth is contingent upon the approval of their partner. This can lead to a profound sense of disconnection, as the person becomes increasingly reliant on the other for their self-esteem. Jung's exploration of the shadow self, those aspects of our personality that we may deny or repress, can also shed light on this behavior. When individuals fail to confront their shadow, they may project their insecurities onto their partners, creating a toxic cycle of neediness and emotional withdrawal. Understanding this psychological mechanism is crucial. It empowers individuals to reclaim their self-worth and break free from the chains of external validation. By embracing self-awareness and recognizing their intrinsic value, individuals can foster healthier relationships built on mutual respect and understanding. This journey is not merely about seeking validation from others, but about cultivating a profound sense of self that transcends the need for approval. In doing so, one can create a space where both partners can thrive, free from the burdens of insecurity and emotional dependency. In the intricate dance of relationships, understanding the psychological mechanisms at play can be transformative. One significant behavior that often emerges is the tendency to seek validation through external means. This need for approval can stem from a deep-seated fear of inadequacy, which Carl Jung might describe as the shadow self, those parts of ourselves we often hide or deny. When we allow ourselves to be defined by others' opinions, we inadvertently relinquish our power and self-worth. Consider the example of someone who constantly seeks compliments or reassurance from their partner. This behavior may initially seem harmless, but it often leads to a cycle of dependency. The more validation one seeks, the less secure they feel, creating a paradox where self-esteem is contingent upon external affirmations. Jung emphasized the importance of integrating the shadow, suggesting that true self-acceptance comes from acknowledging and embracing all aspects of ourselves, rather than relying solely on external validation. In a practical sense, recognizing this behavior is the first step towards change. Instead of waiting for someone else to affirm your worth, try engaging in self-reflection or journaling to explore your feelings and insecurities. By nurturing self-love and understanding, you can begin to break free from the chains of external validation. Have you ever found yourself in a situation where your self-worth felt tied to someone else's opinion? In exploring the psychological mechanisms that dictate how one values another, we must delve into the insights of Carl Jung, particularly regarding the complexities of the human psyche. The third aspect to consider is the concept of projection, a defense mechanism that plays a crucial role in relationships, especially with narcissists. Projection occurs when individuals attribute their own unacceptable thoughts or feelings to someone else. For instance, a narcissist may accuse their partner of being selfish, all the while embodying that very trait themselves. Jung believed that understanding our shadow, the parts of ourselves we refuse to acknowledge, can lead to profound personal growth. When dealing with a narcissist, it becomes essential to recognize how their projections reveal their inner turmoil. They often value others based on how well those individuals reflect their own self-image. If you fail to mirror their idealized version of reality, they may devalue you, revealing a pattern of behavior that is both predictable and deeply rooted in their psyche. Consider the metaphor of a mirror. Just as a mirror reflects our outward appearance, a narcissist uses their relationships to validate their self-worth. When you understand this psychological mechanism, you begin to see the hidden patterns in their behavior. They may oscillate between idealization and devaluation, creating emotional whiplash for those involved. This cycle is not just a reflection of their feelings toward you, but a glimpse into their fractured self-perception. By recognizing these dynamics, you empower yourself to break free from the cycle. You no longer seek validation from someone who cannot provide it, allowing you to reclaim your sense of self. In this journey, it becomes clear that the value you place on yourself is far more significant than any external validation. Understanding projection not only illuminates the narcissist's behavior, but also serves as a catalyst for your own healing and growth. In the intricate dance of relationships, understanding the psychological mechanisms at play can be transformative. One crucial behavior that often goes unnoticed is the tendency to seek validation through external sources. This behavior, rooted in our desire for approval, can lead to a cycle of dependency that ultimately diminishes our self-worth. Carl Jung emphasized the importance of self-awareness and individuation, urging us to look inward rather than relying solely on others for validation. When we place our value in the hands of others, we allow their perceptions to dictate our self-esteem. This can create a fragile sense of self that crumbles under criticism or rejection. Instead, embracing our individuality and recognizing our intrinsic worth can empower us to break free from this cycle. By cultivating self-acceptance, we shift our focus from seeking approval to nurturing our own sense of identity. This shift not only strengthens our self-esteem but also enhances our relationships. When we value ourselves, we attract partners who appreciate us for who we truly are, rather than who we think they want us to be. Moreover, understanding this mechanism allows us to engage in healthier interactions. We become less reactive to others' opinions and more resilient in the face of challenges. This newfound confidence can lead to deeper connections based on mutual respect and understanding. In conclusion, recognizing the need for external validation is the first step toward personal growth. By prioritizing self-worth and embracing our individuality, we can foster healthier relationships and cultivate a more fulfilling life. In our exploration of the intricate dynamics of human relationships, we arrive at a crucial realization: the importance of self-awareness in our interactions. The fifth item on our list emphasizes the transformative power of understanding one's own emotional landscape. Carl Jung, a pioneering figure in psychology, spoke extensively about the significance of the unconscious mind and how it shapes our perceptions and behaviors. When we cultivate self-awareness, we begin to recognize the patterns that govern our relationships. This understanding is not merely about introspection. It is about actively engaging with our emotions and acknowledging how they influence our responses to others. Jung believed that by confronting our inner conflicts, we can achieve a greater sense of wholeness. This journey of self-discovery allows us to approach relationships with clarity and intention. Moreover, self-awareness fosters empathy, enabling us to connect more deeply with those around us. When we understand our own triggers and vulnerabilities, we become more attuned to the feelings and needs of others. This mutual understanding can significantly enhance the quality of our connections, making them more meaningful and fulfilling. As you reflect on this aspect of your emotional journey, consider how self-awareness can shift your perspective in relationships. Are you reacting based on past experiences, or are you engaging with your partner in the present moment? Embracing this psychological mechanism can lead to a profound transformation in how you value yourself and how others value you in return. Ultimately, recognizing the role of self-awareness in your interactions is a vital step toward fostering healthier and more rewarding relationships. It is through this lens that we can begin to understand the true depth of our connections. In our exploration of the sixth behavior, we delve into the psychological mechanisms that govern human relationships, particularly through the lens of Carl Jung's theories. One aspect that often remains unexamined is the concept of projection, a fundamental psychological process where individuals attribute their own feelings, desires, or thoughts onto others. This mechanism plays a crucial role in how value is assigned in relationships. When someone fails to recognize their own worth, they may project their insecurities onto those around them. As a result, they might undervalue the contributions of others, including their partners. This projection creates a cycle of misunderstanding and emotional distance. Jung posited that this behavior stems from a lack of self-awareness, which inhibits genuine connection. The more we understand ourselves, the more we can appreciate others for who they truly are, rather than through the distorted lens of our fears and insecurities. Philosophically, the idea of self-actualization, as proposed by thinkers like Abraham Maslow, resonates here. It suggests that only by realizing our own potential can we truly value others. Hence, the journey towards self-awareness is not just a personal endeavor, it is a relational one. When we embrace our complexities and imperfections, we create a space for others to do the same. This mutual understanding fosters deeper connections, allowing individuals to appreciate each other beyond superficial judgments. In essence, recognizing the psychological mechanisms at play is vital in cultivating meaningful relationships. By addressing our internal conflicts and embracing self-awareness, we pave the way for authentic connections where both parties feel valued and understood. This reflection invites us to consider how we can shift our perspectives and nurture the relationships that matter most to us. In the intricate dance of relationships, understanding the psychological mechanisms at play can be transformative. The seventh item on our exploration of self-worth and interpersonal dynamics invites us to consider the importance of self-awareness. Carl Jung emphasized that self-awareness is the foundation of personal growth. When we truly understand ourselves, our motivations, fears, and desires, we become more resilient in our interactions with others. Imagine standing in front of a mirror, not just reflecting your physical appearance, but also your emotional landscape. This introspection allows you to recognize patterns in your behavior and thoughts that may be influencing how you relate to others. For instance, if you often find yourself in relationships where you feel undervalued, it may be worth examining your own beliefs about self-worth. Are you inadvertently projecting a lack of value onto others, thus inviting them to treat you as such? Consider the analogy of a garden. If you neglect to tend to the soil, the flowers will struggle to bloom. Similarly, if you ignore your own needs and feelings, your relationships may suffer. By nurturing your self-awareness, you cultivate a sense of value that others can recognize and appreciate. As Jung suggested, the journey inward is not just about understanding oneself, it's also about how that understanding shapes our interactions with the world. When you embrace self-awareness, you empower yourself to set boundaries, communicate effectively, and ultimately attract those who resonate with your true self. This shift in perspective not only enhances your relationships, but also fosters a deeper connection with yourself. Embrace the journey of self-discovery, and watch as the dynamics of your relationships transform. In our exploration of human relationships, we often overlook the deeper psychological mechanisms that drive our interactions. One crucial aspect to consider is the role of self-awareness in establishing value within relationships. According to Carl Jung, understanding our own psyche is essential for meaningful connections. When we cultivate self-awareness, we not only comprehend our emotions and motivations, but also how they influence our relationships with others. The eighth behavior to reflect upon is the importance of setting boundaries. Boundaries are not just about saying no, they are a fundamental aspect of self-respect and self-care. When we establish clear boundaries, we communicate our needs and expectations, which in turn fosters a sense of value in ourselves and encourages others to recognize that value. Jung emphasized the necessity of individuation, the process of becoming aware of oneself as a unique individual, which is intrinsically linked to establishing healthy boundaries. By understanding that our worth is not defined by others but rather by our own self-perception, we empower ourselves to engage in relationships that honor our individuality. This shift in perspective can be transformative. When we value ourselves, we naturally attract those who recognize and appreciate our worth. In this way, setting boundaries becomes a powerful tool for both self-discovery and relational harmony. In essence, understanding this psychological mechanism allows us to navigate our relationships with greater clarity and purpose. As we honor our own needs, we inevitably teach others how to value us, creating a cycle of respect and appreciation. Understanding the intricate psychological mechanisms that govern our relationships can be a profound journey. In the realm of human connection, two behaviors often intertwine, creating a subtle yet powerful dynamic. The ninth behavior emphasizes the importance of self-awareness and emotional intelligence, while the 10th behavior highlights the necessity of setting boundaries. Together, these behaviors can transform the way we interact with others, particularly in romantic contexts. Carl Jung, a pioneer in exploring the depths of the human psyche, suggested that self-awareness is crucial for personal growth. When we become more attuned to our feelings and motivations, we not only empower ourselves but also influence how others perceive us. This self-awareness allows us to communicate our needs more effectively, fostering deeper connections. However, without the complementary practice of establishing boundaries, this newfound clarity can lead to emotional overwhelm. Setting boundaries is not merely a protective measure, it's a statement of self-respect. When we clearly define what is acceptable and what is not, we create a framework within which relationships can flourish. This act of asserting ourselves can be daunting, yet it is essential for maintaining our emotional well-being. Jung believed that the relationship we have with ourselves sets the tone for all other relationships. Therefore, when we combine self-awareness with healthy boundaries, we cultivate a space where mutual respect can thrive. These two behaviors, when practiced together, can be both liberating and transformative. They encourage us to value ourselves first, which in turn compels others to recognize our worth. The subtlety lies in the fact that while we may not always see immediate results, the long-term effects are profound. By embodying self-awareness and establishing boundaries, we not only enhance our relationships but also foster a deeper understanding of ourselves and those around us. In essence, the journey towards valuing ourselves begins with these interconnected behaviors, leading to richer, more fulfilling connections. Understanding the psychological mechanisms that govern our relationships can be a transformative experience. As we delve into Carl Jung's insights, we uncover a profound truth: he will only value you when you understand this psychological mechanism. Jung emphasized the significance of the unconscious mind and how it influences our behaviors and relationships. Often, we find ourselves in relationships where our worth seems undervalued. This can stem from a lack of self-awareness or an inability to communicate our needs effectively. When we start to understand our own psychological patterns, we gain the power to shift the dynamics in our relationships. This understanding allows us to recognize our value, not only to ourselves but also to those around us. It's essential to realize that self-worth is not contingent upon external validation. Instead, it is rooted in self-acceptance and understanding. As Jung suggested, the journey inward is crucial. By exploring our inner selves, we can better navigate our relationships with others. In a world that often prioritizes superficial connections, embracing our authenticity can be revolutionary. When we understand our own psyche, we can engage with others from a place of strength and clarity. This shift can lead to deeper, more meaningful connections, where our value is recognized and appreciated. As we conclude this exploration, remember that your worth is inherent and does not require validation from others. Embrace your journey of self-discovery and watch how it transforms your relationships. So, I invite you to reflect on this. Are you ready to understand your psychological mechanisms and reclaim your value? Share your thoughts in the comments, like this video if it resonated with you, and subscribe for more insights on personal growth. Together, let's embark on this journey of self-awareness and empowerment. That's it. If you liked this video, share it with your friends and leave your like. Subscribe to the channel and activate the bell so you don't miss more tips like this. Leave your comments saying what you thought of the video and what you would like to see in the next videos. Remembering that we have other videos in this style that you will like to watch, just enter our channel that I guarantee you will like. Until the next video.